Hello, everybody, and welcome to our podcast, Welcome to Livingston, where we invite local businesses, people, and organizations in to talk about what they are giving to our community. My name is Don Patella.
And I'm Angela Patella, and we're with the Patella Group Real Estate Professionals. As realtors and brokerage owners, we bring valuable insight into the local market and community every week.
Thanks for listening, and welcome to Livingston. Hello and welcome everybody to another episode. This is the Welcome to Livingston podcast. My name is Don Patella.
And I'm Angela Patella, and we're with the Patella Group Real Estate Professionals.
Yes, and before we get started today, I wanted to take a moment just to give a shout out to our sponsor. Today's episode of the Welcome to Livingston podcast is brought to you by our valued sponsor, Jim Paquette with Lake Michigan Credit Union. He is a trusted mortgage lender who has lived and worked in the community for many years. Jim Paquette is dedicated to helping our neighbors achieve their homeownership dreams and is proud to support the local businesses that make our area special. Now let's dive into the stories in today's episode.
Great. Excellent. Well, welcome you guys. We have a fantastic set of ladies that we're excited to hear more about.
Today we have with us LACASA. We have Bobette, Schrandt, and Mona Shan. Thank you so much for coming in today.
Thank you.
It's great to be here. Thank you.
Yes. And you guys are such an important cause to our community, and we've been trying to get you on, so I'm glad it's finally working out and that we have both of you, so we'll be able to hear more. So why don't we get started in terms of, Bobette, do you want to explain what LACASA is and what it does?
Sure. And again, thank you, Angela and Don, for having us here today. We are really a critical service here for Livingston County residents, and we believe we belong to the community. It is a community agency. So what LACASA stands for and what our mission is that we protect, advocate, and empower victims of child abuse, domestic violence, and sexual violence. We also work with our community to make our community a safer environment by providing prevention and education within and awareness, again, about these issues that we address and deal with in the county.
Great. And it's such an important cause. So we're excited that you're here and all the hard work that you guys do.
Thank you so much.
Yeah, no, we're just so excited to learn more about it. You know, we spent a little bit of time on the website. We had both known of LACASA, known a little bit of what you do, and definitely know the resale shop, which we'll talk about a little bit later. But going onto the website, I was amazed at all the different things that you guys give to the community.
Well, I think one of the things that most people say when even they visit or they learn more about us is that, wow, I had no idea of all the services that you provide. We have over 35 different programs. So we're one of the largest in the state of Michigan because our belief is that it's to reduce barriers to success. So the programs that we provide support all of our victims. We don't mission drift, so everything that we do has to be relevant to our mission and providing that. So our goal, again, is within the whole community. And so 35 different programs. We also really pride ourselves on being innovative and creative. So we are the only agency in the state of Michigan under one roof. We provide child abuse, domestic violence, and sexual violence services. We're the only agency of its kind in the state of Michigan. We have a lot of those. We're the only one that owns our own advocacy dog and provide support through the use of animal to help deal with issues. So we really pride ourselves on that.
And I would just add that everything Bobette is talking about, those 35 programs, everything that we offer at LACASA, we offer free of charge to those who need our services, whether we're talking about our shelter, whether we're talking about that 24/7 helpline, the education programs that are in every school district in Livingston County, counseling for victims, for their families, all of that is provided free of charge.
Right, because you never want a victim not to seek services because the cost interferes. You want people to get those services that they need to heal and be successful within our community. And what we have found is most individuals who come to us, even if they might even come from out of county, want to remain here and live in Livingston County. So it is critical that we provide those services.
Right. And we just love Livingston County so much. And so it seems like it's kind of that culture that kind of, where as a community we try to give back. And so I think there's ways that the community can support too, which, I think we can.
Right.
Yeah. Should we touch on that a little bit?
Sure.
Yeah.
Well, can I just share a little the fun story when we talk about the county?
Yeah.
How LACASA came to be.
Oh, wonderful.
We actually came to be with 4 women who sat down together, and they were attorneys in the area, and they were looking at the revolving door, they called it, of domestic violence cases, and what could they do differently. So they each put $10 in a hat, and that was $40, and LACASA was born. So when we talk, we're really grassroots, and we have grown from those $40 and providing. Those individuals also took people home in their own homes, and they looked at it as like the red phone under the bed. And so when the phone would go off, they would know that that was a victim that needed to have shelter, and they would bring them into their own home. Now, we've grown from that to we actually have a wonderful new building and a new shelter, and again, all under one roof. We made the decision to stay together under one roof and build a new building, to being able to provide for over 5,000 victims every year.
Wow.
So that's something that people are usually quite surprised by, and obviously not all of them are in our shelter. Right. So yes, we have shelter services like Mona mentioned. All those other programs are supporting any victim that has encountered any of those child abuse, domestic violence, or sexual violence.
Right, and it is a beautiful building.
Thank you.
It's right over there by the airport in Howell.
Yes.
How has that new building changed the scope of what you're able to do?
It has increased the availability of services. You know the saying that if you build it, they shall come?
Oh, my goodness.
Well, we built it and they have come. We have been full every single day, so we've more than doubled our capacity. So that means we're reaching those who need our services. And we were providing hoteling because we were so full on a regular basis. We did not want to turn people away who needed our help. So we would hotel them until we had an opening in our prior space. Now we have more than doubled. So we're able to meet the needs of the community, which is really vital, that they can come in immediately and be safe.
Right.
And then be able to get the services and the resources to move into the next phase.
And we're hearing from our clients, whether it's in the shelter or coming from counseling, that, as you said, the building is so beautiful that it changes their mindset. It's this welcoming, light, bright, airy building. I think people are a little bit caught off guard when they come in. It's not what they have in their mind that a shelter looks like, or that a center that deals with such heavy topics looks like. But that's what we wanted. It was very intentional in the design. We wanted it to be a welcoming place, because what we really are is a place of hope and healing. Mm-hmm. And the outside building, everything should reflect that.
Right.
And all that went into the design in the building. As Mona mentioned, there's a phrase around LACASA, everything's intentional, that we do and we believe. So it was built with trauma, colors, lighting, space. It was all, again, meant to meet their needs. And we were going through one of our state audits recently, and the residents just said, you need to know this is an unbelievable place for us, and how good it is to feel safe, secure, in a beautiful environment, because we really believe that they deserve that. They deserve an environment, like Mona said, that's hope and healing, and shows that there is possibilities, and change can happen.
That dignity.
And respect.
That's it, exactly. Exactly. I mean, people come to us at the worst moments of their life. Right. And the least we can do is provide them with a place that's beautiful and let them know that they are loved and valued and supported.
Right. It gives them that uplift immediately.
Absolutely.
Yes.
Right. So I wanted to ask too about, so how does the education work? Because again, I know the shelter and everything, but like what I saw on there was all this outreach of like giving information to help people out before they even get to that point.
Yes, and that's a critical piece. And that's another thing that we are the first, and we're really a leader in our state with what we call community systems change. So we are actively working in the community to bring the community in And so I don't know, I think you've mentioned your children are in Livingston schools. They have heard us. We are the only ones in the state of Michigan where we are part of the academic curriculum for middle school and high schools. We are actually in the curriculum. So in middle school, every semester we have 2 days there, and in the high school, 3 days. We also are actively with Cleary University. We do their Title IX, and we work with all the residence halls. So when they developed the residence halls, they knew and they were concerned about what could happen, dating violence and that type of thing, or domestic violence. So we were engaged. So we do all the training of their RAs within the university. And then we started about 5 years ago a program in elementary school. So first graders hear us in Livingston County. So those are educational programs on the child abuse, domestic violence, sexual violence, dating violence. We're actually assisting children. And then we also provide the counseling right there in school. So if a child should disclose, we call an incident, we're right there immediately to be able to assist and to help. And we do that throughout their education. So, and we involve the schools, the teachers and counselors and so on support our program for the education. Then we do awareness events. We do over 30 awareness events in the community regarding child abuse. You see those pinwheels through in April? That's LACASA. We are what we call every county in the state of Michigan is required to have a CAP council, Child Abuse Prevention Council, and we are the CAP council for Livingston County. And so that is a child abuse awareness. And again, it's one of hope that this is what childhood should be about, the excitement of a pinwheel spinning and joy. So that's us. We also do in October a big event that's usually at the Mill Pond on domestic violence awareness. So we're working within the community and we also have programs for the law enforcement. We do training and education with our law enforcement, and we have what we call protocols for sexual assault, domestic violence, and child abuse. Again, one of the only counties that have all three, and that means we're working with our law enforcement on how we will all respond to victims in our community.
Great. Yes, for everybody to be on the same page.
Yes.
Seems like just a powerful element to being able to help people move forward.
Right. And we have a real exciting new campaign that will be starting next week. And it's a global campaign, and it's called Start by Believing. And that is a campaign where a sexual assault victim shares a story. And we're all saying that everyone in our community can respond by believing the individual, because we know by stating that you believe and you're sorry that this happened to them, they would seek services at a much higher percentage rate to get help and assistance. Wow. So we're kicking that off on the 4th with a big signing event to really, again, shed light for the whole community on what we can do to support a friend, a family member, or someone that might share an incident that happened to them.
Great, because I think a lot of people that don't encounter it, they aren't sure what to do. So
Correct.
I think by equipping everyday people with what they can do to be supportive will make a huge difference.
That's exactly it. And it's such a simple thing to say, I believe you. And we know that statistically, this is just not something that people lie about.
Right.
If somebody tells you they've been sexually assaulted, they've been sexually assaulted. It's what happened. So just saying, I believe you, it makes all the difference.
Yeah. Especially because it recognizes and acknowledges, but it validates what their experience is, and that they're not out on an island, which seems to be kind of
the last thing you want is someone scared to come forward to seek help, to think that they're not going to be believed.
Exactly.
Because it's such a hurdle to make it to that point where you're reaching out to someone.
Exactly. And when you think about sexual assault, it's very, to them, embarrassing. What did I do? Because, again, some of the system is set up. What were you wearing? What were you doing? That type of thing.
Yeah.
And that should be totally irrelevant. That doesn't mean it's okay for them to have been assaulted. So there's that whole believing, exactly, Don, what you said, and having them come forward because they are scared. And to be able to know that the community is going to support them, and they can call LACASA. They can come to us for help and assistance and work through what they need to.
And even, we were talking about our new building. It's designed to do all of that as well. We have right in the building, we have the sexual assault nurse examiner program. It's called SANE, which means if you have been sexually assaulted, you can come right to LACASA. And there are specially trained nurses there. You're not going to go to the hospital and have to tell your story, first at the ER, and then again to a doctor, and then again to a nurse who may or may not have ever done an exam like this before. You're going to tell your story one time to someone who's going to believe you and is specially trained to take care of you. And all of that happens right in our building.
And many people don't know that you don't have to call the police first. They can come right to LACASA, and we help them through the whole process if they should. And if they choose not to, they don't need to either. So it's really learning. I think a lot of people think automatically these are the steps they have to take, but we help and assist them through the whole process.
Outstanding. And such a great resource that I bet you people just aren't even aware of that. So
yes,
in terms of spreading the word of how, and that, in terms of what's available.
And it's all, I think, a real critical piece. People know confidentiality is the number one priority for LACASA, and that's in all services that we provide. We have different regulations in a lot of places because of the circumstances that we deal with. So our confidentiality is primary, and it's number one. And like Mona said, we have a whole medical center, nurse center, that is very confidential and separate, so that within the big, new, large building, that they have privacy to be able to receive those services.
Right. So they feel safe from the very beginning.
Very much so, very much so.
And I think another critical program we really want to highlight are all of our children's services, because we are for all child abuse cases, we are the Forensic Interviewing Center. And we're very excited. We are now nationally certified as a child advocacy center, because we do all the forensic interviewing of children of abuse at our agency. And that is a real important critical piece for the children of our community. And then we have all the services right there again. And what we've heard, like Mona said, from our residents and from our clients that we serve, is the thing that they love the best it's all under one roof. And when a mother came in and she was in the shelter and she was going through services, her children needed to have what we call CARE, Child Abuse Response Effort Forensic Interview. She said no at first, because she's like, I can't put my children through that. When she realized it was LACASA, she said, LACASA, I trust, I know, and it's under one roof again, because we're reducing those barriers to people seeking help. So when she realized it was held at LACASA and done by LACASA, she followed through with it, and she said she couldn't have been happier and pleased that she did do that. So again, when we're looking at the services, it's to reduce any barriers to coming and seeking services and then following through with services.
That makes sense, and how important trust is in the subject matter.
Absolutely. Exactly. And we even, this is something that a lot of people don't know about LACASA. We even take pets in our shelter.
Yes.
Really?
We do, because one of the main reasons that somebody might hesitate to leave an abusive or a violent situation is out of fear for their pet. They don't want their pet left behind. So you will not leave your pet behind at LACASA. We have our Safe Pet Place shelter, where we have rooms in our shelter where you can actually have your pet in the room with you. So your dog, your cat, whatever it can be. We've had chickens.
We actually had a little chicken, a support chicken.
Support chicken.
It was really cute, going around.
They can be in the room with you, or we have cat kennels, we have dog kennels, we have plenty of space in our new facility for a dog run, and so the animals get exercise every day. Mm-hmm. But that's another resource that we provide to reduce those barriers to people accessing services.
And we were one of the first in the nation that recognized that, and that was in 2001. And just recently, we've assisted other agencies within Michigan now, and again, we're a leader, helping other organizations develop pet-safe programs within their shelter, that it can be done and how you can do it very successfully, because we have been doing that. And then, like we said, we built the new shelter with the intention of them being able to have their pet right within their room with them. Because for many of them, it's their support and their security. Right. for. And unfortunately, we have had animals come in who have had ears cut off, tails cut off, paws burned. And
Wow.
so it's a reality. So that's why they won't leave an abusive, because they know what it might mean for their pet. So this way, they can bring their pet with them, and they can be safe as well as the pet. And we have veterinarians that work with us and volunteer time and vaccines, and we make sure that the pets are healthy too.
Great. Yeah, you guys really cover all the different bases. It's
A to Z.
amazing.
No, and I would tell people to check. The website is amazing.
Thank you.
And there's so much going on in there. And I'm just like flipping through and looking at the different things. It's like, can I remember this? What about this? You know, like I saw that you guys had like education on like shaken baby syndrome.
Yes.
And other things of just like getting the word out there, you know, because even that education just can help prevent those things from happening.
Right, because that's an important piece. We also have parenting classes, which you probably saw on the
Yep.
website as well. So we have fathers only, and then we have nurturing families, and we have a teenage program. We know our teenagers don't come with a manual that can help us work with. So our parenting program is also vital. And one of the things is that all the services we provide are what we call evidence-based models. And that means they've all been supported by research to show that they're effective. So our parenting programs, again, one of the only in the state that has evidence-based parenting programs. So we're constantly getting calls regarding our program because, again, we believe if we're helping, we need to help the parents and the children. So we're working with the whole system because we don't live in a vacuum. We live within families and we live within a community. So how can we work with all of the moving parts and help everyone be successful?
Right.
Absolutely.
And you mentioned our store.
Yes, I wanted to talk about the store
Yes.
because you guys have a new location.
Yes,
So
we're
exciting.
so excited. It just opened. Again, that was another dream. And the dream was that our clients, when they would come to us, we received the most phenomenal things from Livingston County residents, donations. They used to have to go to the basement and we would pick things out and so on. And we couldn't take a lot because we were limited. Well, we developed the store so that people could shop with dignity and respect. They shop for free. Any of our clients that come to us can go to the store and they shop for free. We've also helped the community. Someone will call us and say, we have this client, they really need, we'll say, yes, come to the store and shop. But that store just moved because it's been so successful. We needed more space. So we now are at the Tanger Outlet Mall. And we have tripled our space, which is phenomenal. So we have furnishings and household goods and clothing and toys, both men and women. And
Shoes, accessories, you name it.
Jewelry, purses.
And it's all high quality, secondhand
Right.
merchandise. You know, in some cases, we get very expensive items with the tags still on that people just don't want in their closets anymore. So we gladly take them. It's called LACASA Collection.
Yep.
And super exciting. They worked so hard to get this new location up and running. And you walk in, you will not think that it's a resale store. It
No.
is so beautiful.
Right, because I know for years we've been donating to LACASA, you know, through when you guys were on M59 there by
Yes.
Kroger.
Yes.
You know, and for people out there, when you're looking to donate, it's so easy to come in and donate. And for all of us, I mean, you know, we have kids and it's amazing where you're going through their closet. You're like, this still has the tags on it.
Right.
You
Yes.
can't fit into it anymore. You never wore it.
Or even if the tags aren't on, but they wore them once
wore them
before
once.
the growth
Right.
spurt, you know?
Yes, or it just wasn't their style anymore.
Yes.
Right.
So we all have just all these really great things that are just taking up space in our closets.
Right.
So, yes,
So what are the areas of, for people that are going to donate, what are the areas of biggest need that you want them to bring to you?
Well, we expanded specifically also for furnishings because we provide that for our clients. So when someone is leaving services and going to an apartment, we need to and help them furnish. So we are looking for furnishings and household items and obviously clothing. Those are the critical pieces that we are looking for because we have one whole storefront. Tanger has been phenomenal. We have 3. Whereas before we had really 1 and a little bit of another, but we have 3. So 1 is all clothing and 1 is furnishings and household goods. So that is what we're hoping to really expand our furnishings. So our inventory right now is we don't have a whole lot right now for furnishing, so we're looking at increasing furnishings. You can go right to Tanger Outlet. We're next to Ralph Lauren, and you go in the back, and that's our donation center. They will take that's our processing now. Our storage is all right there at Tanger. So we have a lot more space, which is very exciting for us to meet needs. We had lines. We just opened on Saturday. We had lines out the door on Saturday. It was probably our best day ever on Saturday. So
it's super exciting.
Yeah.
And
Thank
that
you,
donation
community.
station will be open. They'll be closed on Mondays, but open from 9 to 2 the rest of the week.
Okay.
We just ask that you don't pack boxes too heavy or bags too heavy because
Right.
it's all volunteers who help process those donations. So we don't want them to injure themselves.
Right.
And if it's a furniture item that's larger than like a side chair, we just ask that you would send a picture of it in.
Yes.
And all that information is on the website.
Good.
And we do pickups too, because we have a trailer and a van. We have picked up. So again, if there's an estate sale or something that someone is looking at forwarding that furnishings, we do help.
And I know right now we're getting into homecoming season.
Oh, yes.
So we're hosting Cinderella's Closet right now, which is an opportunity for high school students to get gently used formal wear for $25. When homecoming season is done, a lot of us, again, are going to have these dresses or suits that the kids don't want anymore. You can donate those to LACASA Collection, and we will use them for the prom homecoming or the prom version of Cinderella's Closet that we'll hold in the spring.
Wow, that is amazing. And I would say, for the furnishings, any of our Realtor friends that are listening out there, we all have clients that when they're going to move, there's a few items of furniture left in the house that they're like, well, we don't want it. The other person doesn't want it. What do we do with that?
Yeah.
What a better thing than to be able to donate it to LACASA.
Thank you so much, because we would greatly appreciate. Furnishings go pretty quickly. That's one of the first things. I know on Saturday, my husband was there. He was a doorman. We even had a doorman. So he was there, and he was holding the door, and he said chairs were going out and couches. So they go rather quickly because, again, a lot of our clients, they've come to us with nothing but the clothes on their back. So when they leave shelter or services, they're in need. And so the furnishings, we really, really appreciate. So thank you for mentioning that.
Absolutely. And anyone who has tried to buy a kitchen table or a sofa lately, the prices are very high. So for anyone to be able to get a good used piece of furniture, college student, new families, you name it, it's such a great savings.
Right, exactly. And I know you guys do a lot with donations and people giving back and such. You guys have an event coming up as well, right? A gala?
Yes, October 11th, we're having the LACASA Gala, and it is going to be bourbons, bow tie, and boas. And I'm going to let Mona talk more about it. And
Sure. This is going to be a really fun event. We wanted to do something fun to bring the community together, to have a really good time for a great cause. So we picked a 1920s theme, Roaring 20s, because, we're kind of roaring into a new era at LACASA too.
Yes.
So it's going to be at Crystal Gardens from 6 to 11 p.m. We've got a silent auction. We've got a live auction, the wine pull, games, activities. Cooper and Binkley Jewelers has donated a $6,000 diamond, and we're calling it the Speakeasy Sparkle Diamond Raffle. We're going to have cups full of ice, 100 cups full of ice. And in one of those cups will be something very sparkly. And when the ice melts, if that's your glass, you're the winner of that diamond.
Wow.
So it's going to be so much fun.
we have a 9-piece band.
We
So
do. We have a
there'll be
live
music.
band,
Yes.
the Chateau Band. So dancing, dinner, drinks, signature cocktails, a cigar bar and lounge. So many fun things packed into one evening.
How fantastic. So much fun.
So much fun. We can't wait. It's going to be our first annual gala. So we'll be doing this again every year, but the theme will be different. So this year, 1920s.
I love that. We're in the 2020s, so the 1920s.
Yeah.
So how would someone get a ticket to that?
Yeah, so tickets, you can go to lacasacenter.org and you'll find a link to purchase tickets. They're $150 each, and we do still have some tables of 10 available. If you want to take your whole team out for a fun evening, we have those available. And then you can buy the Diamond raffle tickets either with a gala ticket or separately.
Great. Wow. No, it sounds like such a fun night. And even in terms of getting dressed up,
Yeah, so fun. Why let the kids have all the fun with Halloween? This is like
There
adult
you
dress
go.
up, adult Halloween.
Especially the whole Great Gatsby type of idea
Yeah,
thing.
feathers, beads, all that good stuff.
And we also are having awards. We're recognizing some community individuals, too, who've really, again, contributed to LACASA and our success, and those that we serve, because it really is all about those that we serve. And the opportunity, when you talk about service, is we have quite a few opportunities for volunteers. If anyone in the community is interested in volunteering, we live by our volunteers. We have over 400 that provide 23,000 hours of service. And so that would equate to maybe 11, 12 FTEs, full-time equivalent employees. So our volunteers are critical to the work that we do. There's many different opportunities, right? Mona, we can work with clients. You can work at the store. You can work at our events. Front desk.
Absolutely. There's something for everyone, every age group. With the new store, I was talking with the store manager, and she said that, it's going to be perfect for Girl Scout troops, Boy Scout troops, high school students.
Right.
If you need a sitting volunteer position, you can steam clothing while you're sitting down. You can sort through jewelry. They even have somebody whose job is to take puzzles, jigsaw puzzles that are donated and take them home and put them together and make sure all the pieces are there.
Wow.
So if you want to be a puzzler, we've got a volunteer role for you.
That is so great. And the thing is, opportunities for younger people to get involved and volunteer. I know we've had, our oldest went through National Honor Society. They're always searching for places. And surprisingly, sometimes it's harder to find than you think for there to be so many different things for them to, jump in head first and help out.
Well, one of the areas, and we're very excited because during COVID, it affected this. We have a teen advisory council at LACASA that is made up of students from all the different high schools. And it was really very, very active. And then when COVID hit, obviously, that really caused quite a bit of change to happen. We are really in the stages now of rebuilding that. And so this fall, we have a real strong commitment from all the high schools. And again, for teens to get involved, male, female, with our Teen Advisory Council, and Kayla Grant, who leads that, is phenomenal. And if they want to know, like what you said, Don, I think sometimes our teenagers are shortchanged in what they can do and believe that people think they can do. They have impacted our agency. So that was another dream of, let's have our teens at the table. They helped us revise our whole curriculum. They said, you had wonderful information, but we don't talk like that. So they helped us jazz up, They jazzed up our presentation and so on. But they also critically impacted our services. And just one quick example is our helpline. We used to call it crisis line. We use data to look at who and how we're reaching people, how our services are doing. We realized the teenagers weren't calling us yet. We knew there was an issue based on what they've told us. And so what we did was we asked them, what do you think? They came back and they said, well, you call it crisis line. Maybe we don't view that we're in a crisis because my boyfriend slammed me into the locker. Maybe if you called it something different, we might start calling the line. So what happened was we changed it. We changed the name to Helpline. And the percentage that it went up by 58%. Wow. In the calls. So again, the voice of the youth, Don, you're absolutely right. Having them involved, we believe they have a role. We've learned and helped. We've learned from them as well as they learning from us. So it is a critical piece. And we help them learn how to be advocates so that even when they go off to college, again, how they can be an advocate for these issues. And we get the community involved. We have special lectures and things for the Teen Advisory Council. So yes, if any National Honor Society or Girl Scout, Boy Scout, if they need to look at projects and get involved, our Teen Advisory Council will be a great way to go.
Excellent.
Wonderful.
Oh, how fantastic. Well, you guys have really shared so much, and It's amazing to hear all that you guys are involved in. Is there anything we haven't touched on yet that you just want to make sure that people take away from our interview today?
I think I would just share, this isn't necessarily a topic that people want to talk about. It's difficult to talk about, and yet it touches all of us. We all know somebody who has been impacted by child abuse, by domestic violence, by sexual violence. And if you think you don't, it's only because they haven't told you yet. Mm-hmm. The statistics back us up. It is so common. 1 in 12 high school students will be assaulted in their time in high school. So there's something for everyone. Everyone can benefit from the services that we offer. And we just hope that everyone will see the resource, because we're here. Like Bobette said, we are here for the community. That's why we've existed for 40 years, 40 plus years. And that's why we continue to do what we do every day.
Wow. So if someone decides they need help, how do they reach out to you?
Yes, and it is important too. We do have text messaging, so we want to make sure everyone understands that piece too. So our helpline, they can call 24/7. We're around the clock. Even during COVID, we never closed our doors. All of our services continued, so we're around the clock. So you can call 866-522-2725, and then our text messaging is 517-777-8005. And that is on our website. And even on our website, you can make sure, if it's a confidentiality safe issue, there's a button to click so that you can be safe and people can't read that you're on LACASA's website. But they can also just call our main number. Anyone is there to help, and that is 517-548-1350. Also, on our website, you can email right on our website too, which is LACASA info.
LACASAcenter.org.
Yeah.
Yep. LACASAcenter.org.
And then it says info.
That's right. That's right. You'll get info there.
Yeah.
That's right.
And they can directly contact us, even through the email on the website.
Absolutely. And they can also just walk in the doors.
Right.
Yes. We're 24/7. So if someone needs us at 2 o'clock in the morning, that happens. 3 o'clock, yes. Or during the day. We have, again, with our new site, we have such privacy. So when they walk in and they're upset, we're able to have them go and be safe and secure, and then have an employee come up and meet with them. So we're there any time of day or night that they need us.
Wonderful.
Great. Well, you guys are a huge asset to our community. Please know that it is so appreciated. I'm sure you do hear that a lot in general, but it's amazing to get into the details of everything that you're doing.
100%.
Well, and thank you for doing this, because, again, this is part of making the community aware of who we are and what we're there for, and that is so critical. So thank you so much for hosting this. We're very honored and very humbled to be able to do this podcast, so thank you so much.
You're
Well,
most
thank you.
welcome. It's our pleasure.
Yes, and I would say to anyone out there, check out their new store at Tanger Outlet. They are always looking for donations. They have great items there for you to come in and shop as well. They have their new location off of M59 over there by the Brighton or the Howell Airport. Check out their website. Grab some tickets to the gala.
Yeah.
That is an amazing event. I think we might think about coming to that.
Sounds like
I
a
think
lot
you
of fun.
have some outfits for that.
Yes, I do. The whole Gatsby thing. We like
You're
that.
good to go.
Yeah.
Yes. So, no, thank you guys for coming today.
Thank you so
Thanks
much.
so much.
Welcome to Livingston.